He thought it would be an easy joke. One line. One girl. One laugh from the crowd. He didn't know that, within minutes, he would lose his career, his reputation, and everything his success was built on. And most of all, he didn't know that night, Dean Martin was in the audience. Las Vegas. The Sands Hotel. The room glowed with luxury, tuxedos, fur coats, expensive perfume. Glasses clinked. Cigars burned low. Cameras rolled live. On stage stood Richard Blake, the newest sensation of American entertainment. White. Confident. A favorite of producers. The newspapers called him the voice of the new America. His signature trick was an impossible high note. Every time, perfect. Every time, the audience rose to its feet. A few hours earlier, backstage, Ella tried to stay invisible. She had been taught that her whole life: don't interfere, don't stand out, be grateful you're allowed in the room at all. She was a black girl in Las Vegas in 1964, and she understood exactly what that meant. That morning, her mother had pressed her dress. In the basement of their church. Not new, but clean. Sing beautifully, her mother said. Don't try to be better than everyone, just sing. Ella nodded. She knew no one expected a miracle from her. They expected her to not cause trouble. Midway through the show, Richard decided to add some heart. The kind television loved. Tonight we have a school choir, he announced. Kids from underprivileged neighborhoods. Let's give them a chance to touch a real stage. Applause. The children were led to the edge of the stage. And among them, a small black girl, maybe 10 years old. Richard scanned the group, and his eyes stopped on her. You, he said, pointing. Step forward. Yes, you. The camera zoomed in. Ella stepped out, her back straight, her chin trembling, but she held herself together. Can you sing? Yes, sir. Then sing. The music began. And from the very first note, the room changed. The noise didn't vanish. It settled. Glasses stopped clinking. Waiters froze. People leaned forward. Ella's voice was clear, warm, steady. No tricks. No attempt to impress. She wasn't singing for the show. She was telling the song. The same way she did every Sunday at church. Someone whispered, "She's really good." Richard felt it. The audience was with her. And it angered him. "Stop," he said, raising a hand. "Not bad, for a school choir." No laughter followed. "But this isn't church," he added. "This is a stage. Different rules apply here." He leaned closer than necessary. "Up here, it takes more than being a good little girl. With a pretty voice." The meaning landed immediately. That's why the room went quiet. "And now," Richard said, "let's try a real note. The one everyone knew." The musicians stiffened. This wasn't a test of talent. It was a setup. Backstage stood Dean Martin. He heard the girl sing, and knew she had talent. Then he heard Richard's tone, and understood everything. He remembered being told once, "You're too Italian for this stage." How they changed names, erased accents, taught you how to be acceptable. And he knew, if he stayed silent now, he'd become part of the same machine. Ella tried to reach the note. She almost made it. Her voice didn't crack. She stopped honestly. "Well," Richard said to the crowd, "there you have it. Talent has a level." Ella stood there without crying, just very still. And then, Dean Martin walked onto the stage. No rush. No anger. "That's enough," he said calmly. The room froze. "She sang well," Dean continued, honestly, "cleaner than many grown performers." "This is a show," Richard scoffed. "No," Dean replied. "It's humiliation." "You're defending her." "I'm defending music," Dean said. "And the truth." He looked straight at Richard. "Turn off the backing track." Richard went pale. "That's part of the show." "So is lying," Dean said quietly. The music restarted, without support. The verse, shaky. The chorus, strained. Then came the note. Richard didn't hit it. His voice cracked. Loud. Undeniable. The audience gasped. For a few seconds. No one moved. This wasn't joy. It was realization. A sound engineer stepped out. "He's right," he said. "That note was always pre-recorded." Whispers turned into noise. Dean knelt in front of Ella. So they were eye to eye. "You didn't do anything wrong," he said. Never let anyone decide whether you belong on a stage. Then he turned to the audience. If your success depends on making a child feel small, then you were never big to begin with. The applause didn't come immediately. But when it did, it was real. Within months, Richard Blake's name disappeared from marquees. Not overnight, but forever. Ella was accepted into a music school that had once rejected girls like her. She didn't become a star overnight. And that was right. Her voice was given time to grow, without lies. Years later, Dean Martin said, "A real stage isn't where the applause is loudest. It's where you stand beside someone they're trying to break."